Barstool College Football Show. It is week 5. When this is airing, it will be October, which is crazy, but even bigger. Dan is now sitting next to me.
Yep.
And we have a new guy on the panel.
Yeah, the
Rico
Michigan
Bosco.
State boys. Clap it up. Tuck is coming. Yeah, look at that.
How cute.
Beautiful.
Green machine. Green machine. Green machine.
All right.
Very cute.
I wore this from home, and he chose to copy my style.
Well, listen, the fine people at Roback, they take things right off the rack. So they say pick something new. I picked obviously this one. Beautiful. I didn't know who I was going to sit next to.
Look at you guys.
Even got the facial hair coming in. Mine's not as gray as the old man, but you know, we're doing
really
well.
Necessary.
Well, whenever I got here, he was sitting where Dave normally sits. We know that Dave is in Miami. He's stuck in a hurricane, has no internet, the whole tax thing. Rico is actually wearing my hoodie. So,
and you had the power to get him out of your hoodie.
well, it's a female hoodie, and
Why were you wearing a female hoodie?
They said pick the nicest one. That is the nicest one. Then Dan did the old switcheroo. I had the black, so it's.
You look great. Look at you guys.
so then Dan switched up
Dan,
seats.
you usually sit next to me. Why didn't you stay by me?
Because you're sick and I don't want to be near you. And I also want the Green Boys together.
Not
The
sick.
green boys are great. Ev, how are you doing over there?
Good.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You had a good time in Knoxville?
That shirt's busy.
Tennessee was great. This is a nice shirt. Tennessee, nice hat as well. Shout out Roback. No, Tennessee was great. Neyland was wild.
Yeah.
Especially even for a day game. Probably the loudest college football stadium I've been in, to be honest. It was
Was that
crazy.
your first SEC game ever?
I went to the Tennessee game last year, but I was in the bleeds.
Okay.
This year, I was like 7th row, 50-yard line. It was nuts.
In Knoxville was awesome. I mean, we said it when we were live on the show. It's probably one of the best places we've been. So, thank you again to everybody that came out. I was noticing, though, Rico is here. This is the first time we've ever had a guest that's not usually on the show sitting at the desk. So this is huge for you, Rico.
Nice.
Welcome.
Good job.
Welcome.
All right.
This is-
Go to the
went to
pen.
the
We're
bullpen.
squeezing you in.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice chain.
Nice to
He
have it
did
go
tell me that
way.
he wishes that he was on this show from the beginning to kick you out. So
Yeah.
Say that?
Well, and also, Rico, you're used to doing shows down here because didn't you have a college basketball show down
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah. That was a nice time in history.
Did you say that? Do you wish you had my spot?
well, that was paraphrasing, but
Do you think you deserve my spot? You think you'd be better than me here? You think you're better than me?
Younger.
Oh, got him.
Listen, you know college football.
Yeah, it's like this is our Pat McAfee to Lee Corso over here.
yeah, make sure you keep him in line, okay? Make sure he doesn't say anything that he shouldn't say.
Of course, those had a hell of a career.
Yep.
Let's get to the high noon weekend preview. We are going to start with number 18, Oklahoma versus TCU. Oklahoma right now favored by 6.5. The total at 68.5. Dan, I'm going to start with you. It feels weird that you're sitting right here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with you. So Oklahoma loses last week to Kansas State, had a very Oklahoma-type meltdown despite having a new coach, a new quarterback. TCU, 3-0 for the first time since 2014, and they've just rolled. I know they've played Colorado, Tarleton State, and SMU, but still, big win last week.
Yeah, I mean, the SMU win was impressive. They did that easily. I have a theory that the Big 12 is going to be the funnest conference when it comes down to it.
Yes.
Did you blog that?
No, I'm
That'd be
just
a
saying
good
that's a
blog, be a good
theory of mine.
idea.
Rico,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
sharp observation.
Rico threw out
It
that
is.
theory like, okay, so there just means that no teams are good.
You think you're the only one that can notice college football things?
No, it's not that. It's just you know.
But also the theory doesn't even make sense. It's just like there will be two lost teams in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
So the conference isn't that good.
Well, there's no elite team and there's no bad team.
Correct.
That's what makes it interesting.
Correct.
It's a lot of fun.
Either way, neither here nor there, I like TCU in this game. I think people are going to think that Oklahoma, bounce back spot. I think TCU can score with them. And the other part about that Oklahoma-Kansas State game, that wasn't a fluke. That wasn't like,
Right.
oh man, this is crazy. Someone dropped an interception or a field goal missed. Kansas State just beat them. They beat their ass.
From the beginning.
From the beginning, I just, I was high on Oklahoma going into this season. They're the same old Oklahoma. I don't think that, obviously Brent Venables can someday figure this out, but they're the same old Oklahoma, and I think TCU can score with them, and I think this will be a great game, close game, come down to the last possession. I'm taking the points at home.
Brandon, we've talked a lot about OU feeling different before this game, but they did exactly what they did with Lincoln Riley,
Yeah.
and that was meltdown to a team that most people didn't think they would. I mean, Kansas State lost the week before.
Well, here's the thing about same old Oklahoma. Same old Oklahoma does get beat at home by Kansas State, but same old Oklahoma will also bounce back and take the soul out of a team that thinks they're going to beat them at home. Like TCU's 3-0 without having played anybody.
SMU's somebody.
SMU's very good.
Well, without having played. Fair enough.
I mean,
fair enough.
That's
a decent win.
Were they a
They were favorite, yeah.
favorite?
That's a decent win. But TCU is undefeated. Oklahoma's coming in. TCU is feeling themselves. They're at home. This is where Oklahoma flashes their muscle and they take the soul of somebody and they win by 14. and then come have a crazy 55-52
Wrong.
game against Texas in a couple of weeks.
Wrong.
I think Oklahoma's the pick here.
Wrong.
You can't just say wrong.
Well, you
I get a
can.
point of view
Whatever I
too.
want.
I get a
Wrong.
point of view too.
Wrong.
Who has Oklahoma beaten that's impressed us? Nebraska's not necessarily any good. Kent State.
Well, they haven't.
Can be
But
okay in
when
the
we
MAC.
talk about classic Oklahoma, that's losing to Kansas
Fine.
State, and it's also bouncing back and beating the shit out of somebody that expects to be with them.
Wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm on the Horned Frogs plus the 6.5. I've always bought Sonny Dykes. I think he's been very good. I'm never good with that though.
You guys just gonna be on each other's side the whole time?
No, I mean I was on this.
You gonna copy his
Do our own
clothes?
research. Yeah, it's a good point, Dan. I like Sonny Dykes. I don't buy Oklahoma. I think TCU can win the game outright. I think they'll be right there. Ton of points scored. I think TCU can be right there.
And TCU having Sonny Dykes, it seems like they are like disciplined. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but they are playing very well. I am going to lean towards with Brandon. I think that Oklahoma is a much better team. I know TCU beat SMU. That was a great game. That's a heated rivalry. But I think that Oklahoma, if they would have won last week, I would have felt maybe stronger about TCU. Because they lost and it's only a 6.5 point line, I'm going to take Oklahoma as well. Let's go to the SEC. Number 2, Alabama. At number 20, Arkansas. Alabama favored by 17.5 right now. The total at 61. This game is in Fayetteville. Rico, I will start with you. We know that Alabama's just been rolling. We saw what happened with Arkansas last week with the crazy loss to A&M, which is always crazy in Arlington. Still took the L there. What are you thinking about this game against Alabama? They've been pumped for this game as well. They should be, but obviously taking the loss takes it a little bit down.
Yeah, I thought Arkansas should have beat you outright last week. We know there's going to be some points scored. I'm on the over, and I'm on Bama to run it up. I would lay the 17.5, and I hope Bama lays it up because I have heard that Arkansas fans are mean to you.
They are.
So now I'm a
They're-
big Bama
Oh
guy.
wow!
They-
Just come kiss our asses.
Well, I mean, so usually when we sit here and we talk about Arkansas fans, like, I'll say things like delusional, like they're quite literally going after my unborn child right now. You can't do that. I mean, there's some things, right?
Right, and it's always been, which I'm sure Dan will write the punchline, when it comes to choosing between Arkansas and Alabama, I've always chosen Alabama.
all right, Dan, write the punchline.
The fuck does that mean? What's the punchline?
Musselman and Oates.
Oh, I don't. College basketball is irrelevant.
I'm
We
just
all know
saying.
that.
All right, got it.
I mean, it is.
Okay, Brandon?
In this discussion,
Yes.
it is. Because also, Arkansas will kill the fuck out of Alabama in basketball.
Well, here's the thing about this game. Rico, I'm so glad you're here. It's nice to see you. You're so fucking wrong on this game on both sides. Number one is
All of a sudden, you're an Arkansas guy? You said
I'm not an Arkansas guy, and that's
No,
why you need to
he's-
believe what I'm saying
All
right
right.
now. Alabama's last 6 road games, a 1-point win against Texas, a 2-point win against a bad Auburn, a 2-point win against a bad Florida, a blowout win over Mississippi State that was unfortunate, a loss to Texas A&M, and there's one more in there that they were really bad in. They're not good on the road for some reason right now. I don't know why they're not good on the road, and Arkansas is going to be crazy on Saturday. 17.5 is a wild amount of points, and Arkansas has the number 1 pass rush in the country. Alabama's weakness is the offensive line. Arkansas is going to be able to stop them. It's going under, and Alabama's going to win the game, but they're not winning by 17.5 points.
Dan?
I agree. I have Arkansas plus 17.5. I think they're a very tough team. They also have a quarterback that is an electric, like big game, make a big play. Maybe the big play is to just cover the 17.5, but I like Arkansas in this game.
Yeah, I like Arkansas as well. I think Alabama will win the game. I think that they'll win it, and it won't even be like down to the wire. However, 17.5 points seems a lot. And as much as I don't like the fan base, I have to respect this Arkansas football team. What they're doing with Sam Pittman and the mistakes that they made last week, I do not think that they will make this week.
Well, they might.
They might, but I mean, those were some egregious mistakes. I mean,
Well,
what KJ did.
You talk about egregious mistakes. They made 1 fumble and missed 1 kick. And A&M deserved that victory.
I know, I'm not saying that they didn't, but I mean, the mistakes were KJ Jefferson jumping from like the 5-yard line to fumble that ball. I mean, the doink that happened, those things I don't believe can happen 2 weeks in a row. However, I do think Alabama will win this game, but Arkansas will keep it within the points, which is hard for me to say, you know that. But I have to respect Sam Pittman and the team.
I don't.
Not Twitter.
He's
I'm
fat.
not. Well, but you
Good
decided
coach.
it's because.
Good
He's okay.
coach.
His coordinators
Fired
are good.
up.
His coordinators are good.
Yeah,
That's
and
the thing. You always, whenever there's a fat coach, you're like, oh, the coordinators.
Coordinators are good.
Yeah.
I don't hate all fat coaches.
He's got to hire the coordinators, does he not? Does
He
that
did.
not count for anything?
He did. No, he did.
Yeah, that
He's
should
got
count.
good coordinators.
That should count.
Building staff.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Big 12, I guess, which is the funnest conference in the country, according to Dan
My
or
theory,
Rico.
it's my
Yes,
theory.
whoever's theory it is. Number 9, Oklahoma State at number 16, Baylor. Baylor favored by 2 at home. The total at 56. Brandon, I will start with you. Oklahoma State's been rolling, obviously top 10 in the country. Baylor lost to BYU. Baylor very high on Blake Shapen going into this season,
Yeah.
but Spencer Sanders at Oklahoma State quietly putting together a really nice season.
Yeah, the reason I'm going to pick Oklahoma State, is not because of anything that's happened this season, although I can't really make heads or tails of this game. I just think back to last year and how close Oklahoma State was to the playoff and to winning the Big 12, and they had the perfect play called, and the guy just couldn't outrun the Baylor guy to the corner. I feel like that's got to weigh heavily on Oklahoma State. For some reason, I just think Oklahoma State has a little bit extra, and Baylor's not quite as good as they were last year. Oklahoma State goes on the road and gets a tough win.
Rico?
Yeah,
I'm taking the under, by the way, in this game. If anyone's going to copy me, I just want it on the record, under 56.
Dan said it first.
Okay.
Rico?
Good
What's
pick.
your pick?
I would lean under.
Oh, there
And
it
in
is.
the revenge spot, I agree with what Brandon
Why would you
said.
lean under, by the way, because I'm intrigued.
I'll tell you why.
Please.
Oklahoma State and Baylor both play good defense. Oklahoma State's defense obviously isn't as good as it was last year.
Yeah.
These games have gone under. These two teams playing together, even when they've had great offenses,
Yeah.
have gone under.
Thank you,
I
Dan.
think it's going to be a tight game. Obviously, the line tells you that. And yeah, under 56. I mean, you have to play some pretty good football to hit 56.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a lot of conservative play calling as well when it comes to. I mean, look what the
But
Big 12 championship.
28-24 hits it. I mean, under. It hits the under. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
under. Yeah. But you saw it last year in the Big 12 championship game. When you get in a game where the teams are very close to each other and it's going to be hard to get a win either way. There's going to be a lot of, hey, let's punt here, field position, instead of taking risks, going for it on fourth down.
Good reasoning.
Under.
Good reasoning. Rico?
Yeah, the Big 12 has also shifted to, it's not this wacky conference of scoring 1 million points. They're getting more defensive minded. And you've seen it with the totals.
And Dan, I really think the Big 12 is more defensive minded than it used to be.
I'd agree. You got teams like Kansas playing great defense.
Yeah. It used to be just up and down offense. Now it's gotten a lot tougher.
Yeah.
It has. Good point. I'm glad I'm on such an esteemed show. I think Sanders, I lean Sanders here more than Shapen, and I think it's in a revenge spot, obviously, like you talked about with that Big 12 championship game. And Gundy's been a guy who's been close forever in these playoff races. So this is the first test for him to keep going. Oklahoma State's had a lot of good teams. I think Oklahoma State pulls it out.
Can we go back to that championship game? How did that guy not score?
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Crazy.
I mean,
Great game.
He had
Great
one guy to
game.
beat. He had the angle and just couldn't quite get there.
Ev, do you have?
Cincinnati would have been gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Oklahoma
is
State
weird
would've
to
been
think the
playoff,
butterfly
yes.
effect of what would have happened. Ev, do you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, give me the Baylor Bears at home. I think they squeak one out. Maybe they just have their number. I don't know. The line obviously tells you a little bit because I did like Oklahoma State coming out in this year, but I think like Dan has mentioned, Big 12's chaos. Give me Baylor at home.
Yeah. Dan has mentioned that multiple times.
Mentioned that, yep.
I'm also on Oklahoma State for all the reasons already mentioned. Also, I know Baylor is a good football team. Dave Aranda, a good coach. They just had very high expectations going into this year, and obviously losing to BYU, I don't think that they're as good as Oklahoma State.
A lot of lower ranked teams favored over higher ranked teams this week.
Yeah. What does that say?
I had no idea.
You got to take the lower ranked team.
Walking into traps or something like that?
Oh, well, I just took the higher ranked team.
All right.
No, the lower. Yeah, the higher ranked team.
Yeah,
You took
You
Oklahoma
took
State.
Oklahoma State.
I took Oklahoma
Yes.
State.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the play would be Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the SEC. Brandon, I know you have some thoughts on this game. So number 7, Kentucky at number 14, Ole Miss. Ole Miss favored by 7. The total at 53.5. Dan, I saw that you were wearing an Ole Miss sweatshirt from Lane Kiffin.
Transfer to the sit. Transfer to the sit.
Now, is that still going to be accurate when he goes and coaches somewhere else next year?
Well, we'll
he's
see.
trying to
Are
get
we
out.
just doing hypotheticals?
Well, he's trying to get out. He's
Okay.
already.
Well,
okay.
is he out?
He's trying to.
Is he out?
Trying to.
Okay.
Did you see the clip of Lane Kiffin really mad at the student
Whining like-
section?
like-
well,
whining like a
he
baby
has a
this
reason to
morning?
whine. He said,
Crying.
we don't need to walk out into a
Please
college
come to
football
our
stadium when it
games.
looks like a high school crowd. I can only do so much because Ole Miss students
They should
have been-
probably have everyone cheat and bring like little noisemakers, like cowbells or something.
It would
Those-
provide a
would be
unique
good.
atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
would be an incredible tradition if they did that.
This game though is interesting. I mean, I like Kentucky in this game. I also like the under. I hate that I'm taking a couple unders this week, but Ole Miss has been an under team, 11-1 in the last 12. I had the over last week. They burned me bad, but I don't think their offense is as electric as we've led to believe. There was that early stretch of Lane's career at Ole Miss where they were scoring like 70, 80 points. You know, the total for the game was going 70, 80 points, and it's just gone down from that point. The only thing that makes me nervous, this might be rock bottom for the under, like 53.5 for an Ole Miss game is very, very low. But I'm taking Kentucky. I'm taking the under.
Well, Kentucky has good defense.
They do.
And Brandon, you tweeted this weekend when Arkansas lost that you thought we would see another weekend in a row, this upcoming game, that another top 10 team would be exposed as frauds. I assume you were speaking about number 7 Kentucky.
Arkansas is a solid football team, about 15 to 20. They're not a top 10 team. They never should have been there. And Kentucky is just not a top 10 team. Kentucky being number 7 is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Quarterback's fine. Running back's fine. Their offensive line is bad. Their defense is okay. And Lane Kiffin just sent out the bat signal today, said, hey, our fans have sucked this year. Please be there. It's going to be wild in Oxford on Saturday. It's going to be a full stadium.
Great place.
And they're going, it's not a great place. The Grove sucks. Overrated.
Best tailgating in the country.
Yeah,
You've never been there. Neither one of you.
I've been there, and I won't say
hard to get to.
I won't say it's the best, but I do like it.
They let everybody in. Well, our color they do. Anyway.
I'm not saying that it's the best in the country, but it is nice. It's very
It's
fun in
not.
the Grove.
It's terrible.
It is. It's
Anyway,
fun.
Ole Miss is the pick. They're going to beat Kentucky, and they're going to beat them handily.
Rico, a lot of people high on Kentucky, especially after their game against Florida a few weeks ago. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to lean with Ole Miss here. And admittedly, Ole Miss has not played too many great teams. Struggled last week against Tulsa. Didn't watch much of that one, to be honest with you.
Yep, there it is. Nice.
But I've seen.
I'm picking. Rico was like, I'm taking Ole Miss. Jackson Dart's been playing great. And then we asked him, he's like, I didn't watch any.
You watch the highlights of every week. You
accountability.
You poke in on
So
teams
you
that
watched a
haven't
lot
seen.
of Ole Miss versus Central Arkansas.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
But I do think Ole Miss is the player. I like the running attack. I like Lane in big spots. I think he delivers.
Yeah, he's a good coach in big spots. He's a
And
good coach,
Kentucky,
period.
Kentucky was lucky enough to escape from Florida, and we've kind of seen Florida be up and down. Florida's not necessarily elite. I'm gonna roll the dice here with Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm going to take Ole Miss too. If it was more than a touchdown, I think that Kentucky could maybe keep it within that. But I mean, Ole Miss to me is still just sitting there waiting to explode. I know, Brandon, that you don't necessarily like when we give Ole Miss a lot of
here's what's going to
credit.
happen, though, Casey. Ole Miss is going to win. They're going to then take the fraud top 10 spot.
Oh, okay.
Because for some, and listen, I'm an SEC guy, but Georgia and Alabama deserve their top 10 spots. Tennessee maybe. Kentucky doesn't. Arkansas didn't, and Ole Miss won't when they beat Kentucky and take their spot. And then somebody's going to beat Ole Miss in a couple weeks and maybe take their spot.
What
You
happens
guys
if
always get overrated.
What happens if
in the
Kentucky
polls.
beats Ole Miss?
Then
not
I
a
really
fraud zone top 10.
I really have to go back and reassess what I thought about
Everything.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Your whole entire
Not my
your
whole-
house of cards just completely.
Well, first of
crumbles.
all, it's a win-win for me because if Kentucky, because Ole Miss loses, that's fine because fuck them.
Yeah, it goes back to what we've been talking about forever, is that rankings are stupid until end of October, early November.
Well, rankings are great because they give us something stupid to
Right.
talk about.
Well, exactly. So, but I do think Ole Miss will win this game. I don't know if I think Kentucky is completely fraud. I wasn't very high
They're
on.
not a complete fraud.
Right.
Again, they're
No,
like
no, I
15
know.
to 20.
I'm not saying you said. I'm saying like Will Levis. I think I didn't give enough credit to him going into the season. He's played well. He's not played outstanding. I mean, he's played well.
No,
I saw something today. Will Levis is supposed to be the number 1 pick.
Will Levis has not
They're
played all that
flirt-
well.
they're flirting with
He's got like
Levis to be
6
the number 1 pick.
interceptions. They played bad competition against Florida, the one good team. He was not very good. So just
I mean, I
Will
think
Levis
he's,
is Will Levis. He's not that great.
I think that the hate that we gave him on unnecessary roughness was a little bit unnecessary.
Well, that's the name of the fucking show.
Yes, so I'm going to take Ole Miss. Let's go to the Game Time Game of the Week. You guys know how much we love Game Time here at Barstool, and right now you should also love it for concerts, sports, whatever you want. And if you go to the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code FOOTBALL, you get $20 off your first order. Why would you not? It's guaranteed lowest prices. Again, everybody at Barstool is using Game Time. Let's talk about the ACC. Number 10, NC State. At number 5, Clemson. Clemson favored by 6.5. Right now, the total at 40. Brandon, top 10 matchup. Clemson has been a topic of conversation because they're not winning games by a lot.
Yep.
But one of the theories that you have, which I think is a pretty accurate theory, is that we're not giving enough credit to Clemson because we expect them to blow teams out
Right.
when they don't have to be blowing teams out.
They
at
went
this
on the
point.
road and beat a ranked team last week in a tough environment. Like Wake Forest is a good team with
with a
a
lot of guys out defensively.
very good quarterback. Clemson had a lot of guys out. But more importantly for this game is it's a top 10 game between the 2 best teams in the ACC, and one of these programs is used to being here. One of these programs lives for this. They live for playing other big-time teams in the ACC. When Clemson gets in that environment on Saturday, nothing's going to be strange to them. This is new for NC State. It's on the road for NC State. It's a big environment for NC State. The lights will be bright for NC State. Clemson minus 6.5 is the pick.
Rico?
I'm on NC State. I really do believe in their defense. I would like it a little bit if the weather was clear, given how you can throw on Clemson. NC State, but the weather's gonna.
The total's 40.
Yeah, the
it's
weather's
all
it's all crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I do think I think people are unfairly giving NC State some slack for that win over ECU. Like that's what people remember. NC State was they were highly rated, but they barely escaped.
10 in the country.
I got it. That's a lot to do with preseason.
Beating by a
rankings.
point on a missed extra point.
But if you watch the game, they left a lot of points on the board. I
They're
believe
10th.
that's due to preseason polls.
East Carolina.
So they're underrated at 10. Where would you want them rated?
I wouldn't rate teams till next week anyway.
Well, where
in
would you
my
want them
eyes.
rated? They're 10th.
I
You're saying the 10th team in the country is underrated.
no, I think they're probably where they're supposed to be.
The rating.
You're saying that
Right, it
like,
wasn't
that
hard.
game
That
was
game is
people were
making
giving him a
people
lot of
think
shit.
NC State is
Come on,
not
we're
as
a green
good.
machine, man.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on, stand up for your
All right,
fans.
I'm trying.
But I mean,
he
I
puts you in a
poked
pretzel.
a hole
Yeah.
right through that.
Well, I wouldn't have preseason rankings. That's where I stand. I'll die on that hill.
All right, so
No
there were no
preseason
preseason rankings. Right now, Rico Bosco, rankings come out this week. Where's NC State ranked?
They're probably in the 10 to 15 range.
So you actually underrate them.
Rico,
if you had
just
them
say
15, you did, yeah.
Say nine.
Rico.
Yeah, say
Jeez.
nine.
Say
9 at least.
You could say 9, and this whole thing would end.
I don't know which way he's going with it.
No, what you were saying is that they gave that we looked at the game against ECU and said this is not as good of a team as we thought they were.
Yeah,
But in
and
reality, they
So
are.
much so that we ranked them 10th.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
That's due to the preseason.
What were they ranked preseason?
10, 11, 12, 13.
So they've
somewhere in
gotten
there.
better.
Yeah, they were right in
That's
there.
because fake teams like Oregon was
13, I
11
think.
and lost. Dan, you're proving my point. I
I
like
really
NC
tried.
State's defense. I like Devin Leary. NC State with another upset, close one. Stays within. Could pull the upset. Stays within the number.
I'm taking Clemson. I like Clemson a lot. They should have covered. They just got torched in the secondary against Wake with some guys out. The weather line he stole from me. I was saying that earlier that the weather.
Everybody knows about
Well,
the
no,
weather.
I'm just saying the defense. Clemson's front line is so good. Their secondary has struggled, but I also think when you have a game like that against Wake, who Sam Hartman was playing out of his fucking mind.
and
He
he's
was
very good.
He was making passes that were like, he was in the zone. I don't think Clemson will be that bad. I like their running game, and I think DJ Ungulege has done pretty good.
Nice.
Like he's
It's close. Yeah.
he's actually looking competent again.
Yeah.
that was his best game of his whole career.
Yeah.
That I'm also on Clemson for those reasons, and DJ has been playing well. We know how good their defense is. They have maybe one of the best defenses they've had, and like you mentioned, they have guys that are injured. However, DJ, after a poor season for him last year, slow start, he's stepping up. So I'm going to take Clemson. Ev, what are you thinking for this game?
I like Clemson a lot. Even Dan talked about Ugalele. I brought this up at Pick Central. You watch the post game interview on the field. All his teammates come up to him like he's him. Like Heisman, you can see obviously he had a lot of tough times there. Like recently last year, early this year, I can see the way they're just like rallying behind him. I just think this is about where Clemson, kind of what Brandon said, they just show like who's boss here. I think they beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, it's tough because he did have the game when Trevor Lawrence was out, and he had that awesome game against Notre Dame, and everyone's like, he's going to be the guy, and then he wasn't as good as Trevor Lawrence, and so finally getting that confidence there, which I know is like, okay, how much confidence do these kids need? He needed that, and I think that that's definitely going to carry over for all
Now,
the
NC
reasons
State's
we mentioned.
defense is a hell of a lot better than Wake Forest defense.
They
but
are.
I still
They are, but I
like
think Clemson's the better football team. Now we're going to go to Roback Dog of the Week. Like Rico, he was so professional, already shouted out Roback off the top of the show. We all have a wardrobe sponsor. Ev's got the hat on. You guys are matching in the green. We're over here in our own custom things because we don't need to match anybody else on the show.
I don't know that what you guys are wearing is custom.
Well, it's custom to somebody on the show. You guys are matching. So clearly you
well,
guys,
that's his fault.
Good point.
if you guys want to match with us or just get your
Look at them.
They do look so cute. You guys look cute to take a little family photo. They also have great performance joggers right now. So if you go to roback.com and use the code football, you'll get 20% off your first purchase. Again, thank you so much for having a wardrobe sponsor on the show. We love Roback. So again, anywhere you guys want to go. Last week, I picked an actual dog in Smokey. I love Smokey. I'm going to do the same thing this week. Brandon, you and I, it's our hell week. It is A&M versus Mississippi State.
So you're picking bully.
What's the bet?
So Brandon here.
There will be no bet.
What do you mean
so
there will
Dan-
be no bet?
I mean there will be no bet.
that makes no sense.
There will be no bet. You've almost destroyed our show twice There will be no bet. So
Sounds like you guys should have a bet.
the first year I pushed a guy. The second year I locked her out of the studio. No bet. There's no
Dan,
bet.
I will tell you. So Brandon and I had this conversation.
We have a
on
pact.
unnecessary
We have a
roughness.
pact.
No, you're just. It doesn't have anything to do
It's-
with the bet. You're just a liability.
It's Brandon's witching week. Every time after this game that there has been a bet, something bad happens. Oh, that's good. That was good.
Thank you.
I told him that if he wanted to go behind my back and because he's very confident in Mississippi State. I
So
said,
if you're confident, why don't you?
that's what I said.
This is your favorite
But
this
I
year.
also told him.
Because
is your chance.
I told her I'm a good person. I'm not going behind your bet and making
I
it
told-
back.
I- but I-
Right, then it's out
no.
in front.
It's
but-
not. It's
but
not.
I
a
did-
Now we're
bet.
making
It's not
a
a
bet.
bet.
But
It's not a bet.
I did give you permission to go behind my back since I did that to you a few years
I know
ago.
you did that. You're a bad person. I'm not.
not.
I'm a better person. We don't need a bet. We have the friendly competition, and somebody's
Okay,
gonna be
if Texas A&M
God
wins,
damn it!
Mincy on the show next week.
No,
Don't ruin the show.
Brandon has to
No.
be Casey's night nurse for a month. With a
Gross.
baby
No. No.
And then
Wait a
if-
minute. You
if-
said on the show
if-
yesterday that if you won, you would
if-
raise my kid
yeah,
for a
Mississippi
year.
State wins, you get to name Casey's child.
No.
She said no to that.
That's
a
too
fair
permanent.
bet right there.
That's
She said
too
no.
permanent.
I'll name the baby.
That's
Okay,
too
if you put
permanent.
that up, I'll name
Something
the baby.
after a Scrubs
come up with
character,
something.
probably. Who's the bad guy on
Well-
Scrubs? You probably name it after that.
Zach Braff? No,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
No,
Maybe
that's
Dak.
too permanent.
Dak. Yeah.
Too permanent.
Dak would work. Dak Smith.
Well, it's not his last name. Well,
But nobody knows his last name, including you.
Dak Smith.
and we
yeah,
just
that's true.
also
Walker.
Dak Walker.
I-
Oh, yeah, I get the naming rights to the last name.
his last name will not be my last name.
All right.
But we also just said what the gender of the baby was that we have not revealed yet.
No,
so.
it could be a her. It could be a her.
Dak
It's
could be a
okay.
her.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know,
Dak
you know
could
what
be
this
a her.
means? By the time this airs, we will have announced
No,
the
it could
gender
be
of
her.
the
No, it
unnecessary roughness.
It could be her.
So no, by the time this show, like this
Oh,
airs,
I see. You need
we
an
will have-
excuse to do it. Okay.
we will
there
have.
we go.
Well, no, we were saying him. So
I hope
this-
it's a masculine child.
Right.
Well, anyways,
Godfather.
my Roback dog of the week is going to be A&M's mascot, Miss Reveille. So I think she's beautiful. She's a
This dog
collie.
is gross.
What?
Ugh.
Okay, first, listen.
How is that dog gross?
She's a collie.
You think Lassie's gross?
That's a beautiful dog.
You think Lassie's gross?
Not a fan.
Why? Just because it's A&M's mascot?
I'm telling you the God's honest truth. When I see mascot dogs, bulldogs, obviously incredible mascots.
Yeah.
Smokey for Tennessee, great mascot.
do you feel about Juice
The little
from Ole Miss?
fucking lab that with the
Hudson.
Crocs on it at
Hudson.
Old Dominion, great dog. Huskies, NIU, Connecticut, great dog. I see that collie, nah, not for me.
that feels
me.
Collies are good
biased.
dogs.
They're good dogs, mascots. I'm talking about mascots.
But
not
she's
for
so
me.
beautiful.
Exactly,
She's-
too pretty.
Okay,
That's a
you know
too
what?
pretty
Oh,
mascot.
that's fair. I kind of like.
take
It's
it.
I want to see. When I see a dog, I want to be like, oh, let's fucking
gotta
go.
be ugly.
Let's
Ugly,
fucking
yeah.
run through
Fat.
a
You
wall.
know
I
what?
see that dog. It's a pretty princess walking around. Like, would you have a poodle be a mascot? No.
No, but it could work.
I'm just saying. I have nothing against collies outside of the mascot world. When I see Texas A&M's mascot, I feel nothing.
So she's not right for a football team's
I
mascot.
feel nothing.
too
When I
pretty.
see all
Just
those
for like
other
a
dogs,
soccer team.
when I see all those other dogs, I feel something. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Let's go.
Let's
dogs.
growl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dogs.
You know what? I don't hate that reasoning. I disagree that she's a bad mascot, but if you're
it's
saying
a bad
she's too
mascot.
pretty
She
and
is
too
dainty.
dainty,
Yeah.
well, she's
dainty princess kind
she's
of
the first lady.
She's beautiful.
Yeah,
Do you
see?
know that like if a cadet is sleeping in his bed and Reveille wants a bed, the cadet has to give it up?
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
If she barks in class, class is over. I mean, she runs that campus. She's also beautiful.
It's so weird.
You guys are so weird.
Well,
so weird.
Yeah, I mean, duh. Who's your dog of the
Ugga
week,
will
Dan?
fucking sleep on he'll sleep in a warehouse. He doesn't care. He just wants to just play football.
I mean,
Ugga just wants to get out there and win some football games.
Ugga does have an air-conditioned doghouse
But
on
he
the
wants to just
sideline.
win football games.
who is your dog of the
My
week? Dan?
dog of the week is Michigan State because of these guys.
Nice.
No, actually, I'm just kidding. What was my dog of the week? Oh, Brent Key, Georgia Tech. Offensive lineman for Georgia Tech, now the interim head coach. Jeff Collins, everyone hated that guy there. They fired the AD and the head coach. I'm taking Georgia Tech, Brent Key, plus 23 against Pitt. Get that interim coach bounce. Guys are going to start playing hard. Going to get practice a little different. Whistle sounds a little sharper, especially when you have an offensive lineman as the interim head coach. Georgia Tech plus 23.
Rico?
Yeah, I had two options here, but I think I'm going to go with.
What was the other one?
Well, it was Hank Bachmeier, who's a lost dog because he transferred out of Boise. He was like their franchise quarterback.
Probably go for the other one.
Okay.
I see what you did there. I like it.
Yeah. Try to be creative.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Broncos are
As
horses,
always.
not dogs.
Well,
And also, he
lost dog.
stinks.
he's
Okay.
a lost dog.
Washington State last week with that miracle cover after I prematurely celebrated. Could have turned into a disaster. They should have won the game outright, but that was a big play for me. Washington State to cover on the last play of the game the way they did. Dog of the week.
So it was a big play for you. So you were actually naming yourself the dog of the week.
Rico is the dog of the week.
You're the dog of the week. The Rico Bosco dog of the week.
Roof, roof.
Brandon.
So I'm using a player who plays for the Washington Huskies. Does anybody know who leads the country in passing yards?
Probably Michael Penix.
Michael
Penix Jr.
Penix Jr. leads the country in passing yards. That is absolutely wild. Even at Indiana when he was going good, he wasn't exactly throwing for 500 yards a game. He leads the country in passing yards. Washington's 4-0. Nobody saw this coming out of Michael Penix Jr. He plays for the Huskies. He is the dog of the week.
But they're favorites.
But he plays.
But they're favorites this week.
I'm not looking at it from a
They're
gambling point of
favorites.
view.
He is
He
the
plays for the
they're
Huskies.
favorites.
Huskies are dogs.
Right, but they're favorites.
That doesn't matter. I wasn't looking at it from a gambling point of view.
Kind of like UCLA this week.
That's fine.
Plus
Chip.
3.
got
Bring
He-
it back. Chip.
That's one of those.
But that game happened last night. That game happened
That's
last
one of
night.
those stupid ones where you're like, Washington, ranked, playing great. UCLA stinks. Only -3.
I mean, Washington won by
Yes.
14 points last night.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, by the time this airs, we'll know. What you're using the meme. Michael Penix has that dog in him, right?
No, he plays for the Huskies, and the Huskies are dogs.
I was helping you out. You can
No,
also
you're not
say
helping me
that.
out because I don't know why y'all are getting this.
But they're
No,
favorites.
I do
But
know why.
the Washington Huskies are dogs. He is the dog of the week
But
because
it's
he is a
also
Husky.
good thing
Wait,
if he
but,
has that
but
dog.
okay,
I'm not
so
saying he has a
Georgia,
dog in him. I'm
Georgia
saying he-
Tech's plus
Why
23.
would you not?
He is.
Wazoo was
I'm
plus
helping
7. They were an
you.
underdog.
You're not helping me. You're trying to make it a different thing, and it's very much easier. He plays for the Huskies.
I'm doubling down for you.
Huskies
Casey picked a dog. I picked an underdog. Rico
picked
picked an
himself.
underdog.
Yep.
Probably the ultimate underdog. He's going to be out of a job January 1st. You picked
a Husky.
Michael Penix.
A Husky. Michael Penix, who plays for the Huskies. Dog of the week.
Got it.
Ev, are you also picking a dog or something else?
I'm a gentleman. I have an underdog. I have an
Yeah,
underdog.
love it, man. Way to go, Big Ev.
My Roback dog of the week, underdog, Texas Tech plus 8.5 on the road at Kansas State. I know it's weird, but they're both coming off big wins. I don't know if any of you guys saw Coach McGuire's his post game.
I loved it.
That was
Yep.
great.
Awesome. You can just see how locked in the team was. They're ready. I just think it's too many points. I think it's like a coin flip game. I think they're live to go on the road and win this game. So Texas Tech Red Raiders plus 8.5.
Shout out
All
Dana
right.
Beers.
Yeah, Dana was all over everything with the number one horns down of the week. Brandon, it's time for your high noon trivia.
Yes,
go, Brandon.
It is. And
So be happy about it.
Let's talk about the High Noon Tailgate Pack, the limited pack in stores right now. It has the pear, it has the cranberry. If you're tailgating or if you're just hanging out on the couch, get you the Tailgate Pack. High Noon, the best drink for college football. Check it out this weekend. And here is your High Noon trivia question. Over the last 10 years, the Boise State Broncos have the most wins for a group of 5 team with 95 wins. Which group of 5 team is second with 89?
Your guys. San Diego State.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely. They had like
The last
multiple
10 years?
10-win seasons. Yeah. It's
Fresno could be up there.
no, it's definitely it's either San Diego State or Cincinnati. Final answer, San Diego State.
You
He can give the final answer.
yeah, you're probably right. San Diego
Do
State.
you say final answer?
No, but I think BYU is up there as well.
All right, you go ahead with whatever
All
you
right,
want.
I don't
Say-
think it's Fresno.
Okay,
San Diego State. Final answer.
How the fuck did you know that?
Yes. That's his team.
I understand.
That's
I
his
didn't know he was
team.
going to be on the show when I wrote the
That's
show.
his team.
When I wrote the question, I didn't
Clay
know.
Travis stole that from
He
him.
did.
They were awesome.
But he didn't. He wasn't going to answer San Diego State.
Who would be-
on the clip?
he wasn't going to answer San Diego State because
wasn't
he
gonna
doesn't know his
answer San Diego
fucking
State.
team.
I know he did.
All right.
Was Cincy close?
Trivia.
Over the
fucking-
last 10
Is Cincy
years,
close?
over the last 10 years, Boise State is first in group of 5 wins. San Diego State is second in group of 5 wins. Who's third? And
Cincy.
I don't know.
It's Cincy.
I don't think it is Cincy.
I'd bet everything
Could
it's
be.
Cincy.
You can't bet everything.
I'll bet
or
everything.
BYU.
it's
I'll,
Cincy.
I'll look right now. But I don't think it's Cincy.
It's either Cincy or when did UCF go undefeated?
Could you just let me
Because
have
the
a
year
question?
before
That
they
was
only won one
2017.
though. The year before they only won one. So I think it might be Cincy.
All right.
I think BYU could be up there.
Stop saying BYU.
I still think Fresno could be up there.
Stop saying Fresno. It's Cincy or
It
you
never
see-
ceases to
Fresno
amaze
had
me.
too many like 6-win seasons.
Yes.
Done this with
I don't
Brandon
think
for
it's
4
Fresno.
years now, and
It's
this segment
Cincy.
always goes off the
It's
rails.
Cincy.
No, this is fine. It was Boise State, followed by San Diego State, followed by a tie.
Cincy and UCF.
Did you look this up?
No, but those are the two teams. It has to be.
It's Cincy and UCF.
It has to be.
I mean,
UCF won
it makes
13
sense,
and
yeah.
0.
All right. After that, who's fifth? Who's fifth?
That one I do not know.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's the official High Noon trivia.
BYU.
Hold on.
It's
BYU. You keep saying like I'm out of the loop on
Oh, you
BYU.
were far off.
Wasn't far off. It's fifth.
Come up with something off the top of your head.
All right, over the who finished third in rushing in the SEC in 2004?
Fantastic. All right, that's the High Noon trivia. Oh, watch him. If he pulls
I think-
this out.
No, I'm just thinking, was that Arkansas's year?
No, it's too early for them. For McFadden.
McFadden?
Yeah,
No.
it's probably Ronnie Brown or something.
Third in rushing.
Oh, or no. what was the other guy's name?
Cadillac. But I figured Cadillac was
Williams.
one.
Wisconsin beat him.
Did they?
Yeah, the Outback Bowl.
No, nobody beat him in 2004.
No,
They might have beat him in the 2003, but nobody beat him in 2004.
we beat. I know we beat Cadillac and Ronnie Brown.
Must have beat them the year
in a bowl
before.
game.
Yeah.
Wait, they went undefeated?
Yeah, because they remember Oklahoma, USC, and Auburn were undefeated. Auburn went and played West Virginia in the Sugar Bowl and won, and the USC beat.
This is fun
Oklahoma
memory lane.
55-19.
Outback Bowl.
So the official question is, who finished third in rushing in the SEC in 2004?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait, I want to see what
Yeah.
Auburn versus Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think we
go with
beat
that.
them in 2015, and then
It must have been 2003 or something, because it was not 2004.
I would move on, but then I feel like, we might as
no,
well
I gotta
stay
find
here
it out.
until
I
it's
find it out.
one
Find
of
it out
those
because
things
this
we
is
can't-
one. It will drive me crazy if
Right.
I don't know it.
That's why I don't want to move on yet.
All right.
2006 is when we beat them.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes,
years
2006. So that was
But you
still
didn't, that wasn't
Ronnie-
Cadillac and Ronnie Brown.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But it wasn't.
It was a Capital One. Oh no, we lost to them in 2003. Beat them in 2006.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Fun little memory lane.
Auburn played in Madison in 1931 to a 7-7 tie.
Oh, I bet that was
Wow.
awesome.
That's crazy.
100-year reunion coming up. It's coming up quick.
Wow.
All right, Big Ev, you have a fun little thing you're doing this year. You have the section of the year presented by Cheez-It Crackers. Like we mentioned, you were in Knoxville last week. So where you've been now to Kinnick,
Yep.
and you were at
Neyland.
Neyland. Who is? Can you say who's in the lead, or give us?
I was actually
going
going to ask this to the group. Should I week by week give my rankings, or should I wait
Yes.
till the very
Yeah, but
end?
as
I
long
think
as you're not just going to say the last one is always the best one.
No, I
Oh,
wouldn't
he
say
can
that.
do that. If
Well,
the
this
last one was the best.
This one I would say Neyland definitely was better. I mean, Neyland's it's nuts. It was absolutely crazy.
And they're classier people in
They-
Tennessee than Iowa.
It was hilarious. Like the woman, it was the couple
Well,
sitting next to me.
they threw shit last year, too, at Lane Kiffin.
But not at us, so that's what counts.
true.
That was a
There was
bad
mustard
call. That
bottles
was a
on the
really bad
field.
call.
Through golf ball.
That was a really bad call.
Yep.
All right, so
was
you will.
the couple sitting next to me. There was literally, I swear to God, it was the husband was wearing a black Hannibal Lecter mask with Tennessee on it. It was hot as hell. Didn't take it off at once the whole game. His wife next to him was screaming the whole time, "Step on their fucking throats! Step on their fucking throats!" I loved it. It was great. Atmosphere was nuts.
So you got Neyland 1, Iowa City 2,
Yep.
and we just do Rutgers 3.
We'll see. I'm going to go into it fair and
Okay,
square.
all right.
Yeah, we've got a lot left on the slate
Rutgers,
so far.
Rutgers are my people. My mom was born in Piscataway. I'm from not too far from there.
I'm excited for that.
TJ just
I'm
peeked
excited
out
for that
around the
show.
whole place too, like
TJ's
checking
getting
in.
ready for the
TJ's
NFL show.
He's ready to go.
reputation as a human being is on the line next Friday when we go to Piscataway. I'm excited because I actually I think Rutgers will be fun, but I'm also going to be judging it very close because I'm basically a quality assurance scout for the Big Ten
Yep.
to make sure everything's up to snuff.
And you take that shit seriously.
I take that seriously.
And
I
it's
went
a-
on a recruiting trip to Colorado trying to bring them, didn't pass. Rutgers, you might get kicked out if I don't like what I see.
Oh,
When
boy.
Rutgers was running hot, those environments were great though.
Oh, of course.
And it's a Friday night, so it's like if it's not rocking, then it's
I
the
mean, if
only
it's not
thing
rocking
going
for
on.
Rutgers in Nebraska, whew,
So Ev, tell us more
I
about your.
sense sarcasm.
you do.
Well, but we'll
It was
be
a shot in
there.
Nebraska,
But we
not
will-
Rutgers.
Well, we will be there. TJ is trying to get ready for a different show, and he's just over here hearing his
No,
team
he
get
only
slandered.
cares about the Rutgers conversation. He doesn't care about that
That's
show.
fair.
Entire reputation as a human being's on the line.
Damn.
No, it's if we have a bad time, he is.
You kicking him off the yacht?
I think he'd have to kick himself. He's Sudoku. He'd have to kill himself.
Okay. All right, Ev, tell us more about your section of the year.
I'll just give you a little tease. Fire Fit for the Rutgers show. Fire Fit on the way. All right, Big F section of the year presented by Cheez-It. This college football season, we are feeling the cheesiest with Cheez-It. To be a great snack, Cheez-It gives 100% real cheese, crunch, and deliciousness. Fuel your game day hunger with bold, cheesy, crunchy satisfaction. Shout out Cheez-It.
All right, roll the video.
What's good? It's your boy Big F. We are back. Stop number 2. Trying to find the cheesiest fan section in all of college football today. We are in Knoxville, Tennessee. Neyland Stadium. Beautiful people everywhere. Nice people everywhere. Checkered pants. Beautiful colors of orange. We're about to go inside and tear it up. They're about to beat Florida. Let's go.
Balls,
Go
baby.
Balls, baby.
Let's go. Let's ride.
All right, Neyland Stadium pregame. Stadium's unbelievable. It's huge. The energy's nuts. The checker is just wild. The discipline to be checkered, orange, white, unreal. I'm a Big Ten guy at heart. That's where I went to school. But in the South, SEC, it's just a little bit different. It's just a little bit different. There's no way, there's not words you can describe it with. I don't know how to paint the picture. It's just a little bit different. The energy, it's just special. There's something special about down south playing college football. We're with my guy Isaac. Tell me, why is Neyland Stadium the best, cheesiest college fan section in all the nation?
Man, you just gotta look around. Look at all this. It's shit. There's 116,000 people in this damn stadium. You know how many people's here? 116.
Look down! The decibels are off the charts! I've never been in a louder stadium in my entire life! Boom! Boom, 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 boom! Boom! Oh, Rocky Top! Woo! Nailed it. First ever Rocky Top touchdown. Absolutely electric. Keep them coming. Let's keep them rolling. Fantastic. Shout out Cheez-It for letting me be a part of it. Real Rocky Top touchdown. Special. Truly special. I'm here with my guy Clay. Give me the elevator pitch. Why is Knoxville, Tennessee, Neyland the best, cheesiest fan section in all of college football?
I mean, you aren't going to find a group of fans that are more passionate about football and they're going to be any louder than this stadium right here, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Smoke it! I mean, she said yes. She said yes, it's beautiful. College football, cheese and crackers, love, the big 3. All right, officially sounding off Knoxville, Tennessee, Neyland Stadium. Great atmosphere, loudest college football stadium I've ever been in my life. If this is the bar that we're setting for this trip, it's through the roof. See you next week, Piscataway, New Jersey. Shout out Cheez-It for bringing us. See you at Rutgers, baby. We at Rutgers. See you at Rutgers.
All right, it is time for the proper picks of the week presented by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. So, Dan, you have the Proper Number 12.
The best Irish whiskey in the world. We're taking shots in Knoxville. I'm going to take a shot right now. Rico, you going to take a shot? Yeah, you're going to take a shot. Here's my shot, then I'll give my pick.
Cheers. Well, before you give your pick, we have something to settle. So,
Uh-oh. Okay.
So go ahead and take, are you going to take another one?
No, I'm going to give it to Rico.
Oh, okay, I was like, damn.
drive today, but
Just one shot of
It's just
proper
one,
12
yeah,
whiskey.
it'll be
It's
okay.
beautiful.
It's one shot. You're not going home for another
Wow, you
4
really
hours.
loaded that thing up.
Proper picks presented by Proper Number 12 Whiskey. It's time to pour the roar.
all right.
Talk about how you love Proper 12. I
love
did.
Proper 12.
I love Proper
right.
12.
Yeah, it's great. All right.
The video of Brandon taking
Yeah, look at him.
the video of Brandon taking the shot in Knoxville was very good. Like, it was like the first time he had ever taken one before. But I mean, it's Proper Number 12. It's delicious.
I love it. I love being able to take one shot a week and just being like, oh, that feels a nice warm feeling. Just it's great. It's like putting on a coat.
It's a little throwback. It's
Yes.
a throwback to your college time. So
Yes.
we have the standings here, and there was a little confusion because you, Brandon, and Ev all picked
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M -2.
Right.
The problem is that the line on the show was -2.5.
It was never 2.5.
It was 2 before the night
So go ahead
before.
and-
I bet
go
it
ahead
was
and-
2.
Lauren,
I
can you
bet
roll?
2.
Can you
So
roll
we
the
all
video?
bet 2.
Can you roll the
Also
video?
bet 2. I have the slips.
We
Yeah,
all
I have
bet
the
2. We all bet 2. I don't care what that video says.
A&M favored by 2.5 right now. The line has moved a little bit. The total at 50.5.
I don't care.
The line has been going a little bit.
So here's where, now listen, my pick was USC, so I lost. I don't care that I don't have a dog in this fight. There is somebody whose pick absolutely won without any question, and he has said he wants to make the decision on if it's a win or a push. And he said to call him as long as the Miami Hurricane has not knocked him out. Dave would like to make the call on if it was
All right,
minus
if he
2 or
doesn't pick
2.5.
up the phone call here, then we win.
It's a push.
Okay,
No,
yes.
then we win.
It's a win.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
win.
Then we win.
So
Okay.
he's
then
already
we win. If he doesn't pick up the phone
he's
call,
already
then we win.
he's already told me that he thinks it should be minus 2.5 because of what we did. Because that preview
Okay,
was
I'm
earlier in
fine
the
with
show.
this. I'm fine with this.
Okay.
I want to talk to
You
him.
just said 2.5.
But
It was
here's
2.
the deal.
But no, it
here's
was
the deal.
2.5 was the line.
I want to hear what he says.
Yes.
So if Casey calls him, then we have the discussion. If he doesn't pick
Yes.
up, we win.
Okay.
That's minus
Win,
1.5.
yes.
Okay.
We win.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna give it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We'll see if he answers this.
Hello?
Hi, Dave. So we are on the college football
When
show
did your
right now.
phone get fixed?
Yeah, Dan did not
When the
think.
fuck did your phone get fixed?
He said that you weren't going to answer this call because
Fuck.
if you didn't answer, that he was going to take his minus 2 pick, and I said that you were going to make the final call on what the line was for A&M Arkansas last week.
Well, the phone, because the phone that's broken, I took the SIM card out of that one, and I had an extra phone from when I was doing the Barstool Fund, so I put it into that. I've been working with Austin to get everything going. So that's how the phone is fixed a little bit. And there's also, I don't know, I don't really understand the do's and don'ts. But that line was 2.5.
It was 2.
It was 2.
But I betted it 2.
What do you mean you betted it?
I bet it literally right after the game, right after the show at 2. So whoever put the line up at 2.5 was wrong. It was 2.
Yeah, but the line's 2.5. I bet it after the show as well, and I have a winner.
At 2.5.
Well, I have a push at 2.
But on the
But I
show, we
mean,
said 2.5.
We always have differing lines of what
When
actually
did you
is
bet
like
it
the
at
cash
2.5?
versus
I
the
never
bet.
saw it at
But
2.5.
It's very straightforward that Casey on the show says 2.5.
I never saw 2.5.
Well, then you weren't listening. She says, I mean, did you see the clip? She says it, and the graphic says 2.5.
Let me see where you bet it at 2.5.
I'll send you the clip. I told you that already. You know I'm not lying because before I even knew this dispute on Pick'em, I said I won. I got in the whole thing with Rico.
I think that part might have got cut out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because I was like, it was convoluted.
Oh, yeah.
Because I needed Arkansas to win the game to cover
He
the
said
2.5
he
because
laid
we were
the
sitting on
points.
2. Like I needed them to win. I was sitting on push or a win, so I needed them to win.
So
That was the whole laying the points argument,
Right,
but I'm
right,
like, yeah, I won that. I had 2.5.
yeah, Dan is showing me his bet slip, and it does say A&M minus 2. But the issue is, and Brandon's showing me too.
Mine was bet at 8:30 that morning.
But the issue
Yeah,
is,
but what does
You
that have
bet
to do with anything?
$5,000 on that game?
Casey
No.
has a clip on the show of saying the line is 2.5. The graphic says 2.5.
All right.
I don't
I mean,
doubt that you guys got different. I have it at 2.5. I won.
It never was. I never saw it at 2.5.
I have it at 2.5.
I'd
I
like to
won
see
the
that.
bet.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see that.
All right, fine. I'll show you that. I'll show you that and Casey, but on the show is 2.5. So all right, let's say it this way then. I assume she showed you the clip.
yeah, we just
where
played
she-
it.
Okay, so if I go show a winning bet at 2.5, we can put
No,
this
because
to
I have
bed.
a push at 2.
Well, yeah, but that always happens. It's not always what's said on the show is exactly what people.
I think if
betted
he
at.
shows a bet at 2.5, I would accept that.
He
Well,
probably has
but
that. Though.
the bigger
Definitely
thing
has
is that not only did he do that, we said it on the show before the proper picks even happened.
We say a bunch of shit on the show, though.
Well,
What
that's
time-
I'm
wait,
saying.
what
I don't
time
know
did
what
you
we're
bet the
debating.
2.5?
It's always what's said on the show, and even on like Pick'em, I know it's a different show.
whatever, I don't
Sometimes because we do it early, like we have different. Like it's like we win or lose on the show, but in real life, it may be different.
How'd you even find out about this?
About what?
About the 2 and 2.5 thing?
I have 2.5. Casey just called me.
Right, but how'd you find out about this?
What do you mean find out about it?
Like what? How did you find out that this was a discussion even?
Well, Casey just called me.
Oh, so Casey.
No. Before he was prepared for this call. Before that.
What do you mean before that?
Before that, how did you find out about this? How did you find out that it was a push on our records and it was 2.5? Where did you see that?
The way I know this is Casey called me and said,
So Casey
texted
snitched.
me and
Wait.
said they're trying to.
Casey called you before this
Casey
call?
called you before this.
No, it's on the rundown. You have it in front of you.
But he doesn't look at the rundown.
I was told there was a dispute.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
That there was a dispute?
Yeah.
Casey.
So Casey's a rat. Okay, I got it. Fine. Dave, you get your pick. Casey, you can't be trusted ever again.
No.
You
No,
literally
I
called
already knew
Dave.
that.
No,
You called Dave to be
here's-
like, oh, there's a dispute here.
No, here's
That's
the thing.
crazy.
No, it's not, because first of all, I thought he was going to be on the show until 1:15. We were doing this at 1:30.
That's crazy.
And I said that if he was here, this argument would have happened. It
But
doesn't.
I still don't know what the dispute is. She showed me the clip, and it's clearly 2.5.
I took 2.
I didn't know what the standings
I want to see the
were,
whole
so-
clip. Let me see the whole clip. Did I say 2?
2.5. It's on the show, 2.5.
Let me see the whole
And
clip.
then you're just saying you bet it in real life after and got it.
No, I bet it before.
I bet at 8:30 that morning.
Yeah, we all bet it before, and we bet 2. And then you bet 2.5. Like, the line moved right before.
I bet it before we got on the plane.
I want to know exactly what the line was when the show was live.
You always use what the
I
line
don't
on the
believe
show
that.
is. So you guys got a 2. I won it.
I'm going to look
2.5.
this up. I'm going to look this up.
All right, Dave.
What are you guys saying now? We don't use the line she says?
No, I think that was the wrong line at that point.
I hate him.
I hate Casey
but
right now.
You didn't say that in the show.
You can't hate me.
I don't know what I said on the show.
All right, Dave. Thank you so much. Make sure you stay safe.
Do I need to prove it? I have a winning 2.5 bet if
Yeah.
people need to see it.
Send it over if you can do that, and we'll continue the show. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Oh, you want to say, oh, stay safe. Talk to you later, Davey boy.
No, so I will be honest with you. I was going to have this conversation on the show. It doesn't matter to me. I lost. I don't have a dog in this fight.
I'm
I
looking
knew
this up right now, and the game ended at -1. Like,
it was
that's
-1.5 before
that's
kickoff too.
ridiculous.
We're not
So-
competing for anything, are we?
He literally got 2.5 at like that wasn't even his pick. He didn't even have Arkansas.
Well, the reason that
I won 50K last
it's because he would be the only undefeated person. So we had to figure out what the standings because I was getting multiple.
I mean, this was
reports.
2 and 2.5 all day. It went back and forth like it's crazy. But whatever, okay, fine. We'll play that way. And just know
I
that
bet at
Casey
8
cannot be trusted.
8:30 in the morning.
I would have. I mean, I lost the bet too. I took them at 2.5.
And she won't even let me name her baby.
Well, no, you can't. You can't do that.
This is an eye-opening experience. I'm fine with taking 2.5. Eye-opening experience, Brandon.
Why is
I think we
that?
both know.
Yeah.
Eye-opening
you also-
experience.
I've been telling you.
Eye-opening
I've been telling you.
Both of you guys also know that if he was sitting right here, it would have been an
Eye-opening
argument. And I thought he
experience.
was going to be here via mannequin. He
been
happened to
said
not
that.
be. It's not my fault. There's a hurricane. Anyway, so the
Eye-opening
standings
experience.
are Dave is undefeated. Brandon and I are at 3-1. Dan and Ev are at 1-3. Dan,
Asterisks. Asterisks, me and Dan.
I don't even
well,
know.
and Brandon too.
And Brandon.
Ev, where
This
do
whole
you
thing
where do
is
you land
rigged.
on this? You also think that it's bullshit?
Yeah, it was 2. I mean, I said it on the show. I said 2. I betted it 2.
My proper pick of the week, it's already been taken from me. It's A&M -2. This is a
Wow,
This
this
is
is
a
scary.
Arkansas's
This is
defense
scary.
absolutely stinks. A&M wins this game comfortably. Texas A&M -2.
Take a shot.
I mean, I would like to see the at exactly, I guess it'd be exactly like whenever, like 1:45, 1:50, 2 o'clock, what pen Barstool had at that exact moment that we did the segment.
That's what I would
Yeah,
like to know, too.
no. There's definitely in the proper picks clip. You guys all say
Because
-2.
like even the show was printed out.
Wait,
like,
we said it?
But then the tweet came out from
I
the
know.
main account
When
that
I
says
said it, I
-2.5.
know I said
Wait,
it.
I said -2 in it?
I know for a fact. I
Play
did.
that.
I
Then
know I
that's
did.
that's my pick.
Because that's what I
Lauren
had.
said she
That's
texted
what I
it to you.
said.
Did she
That's my pick. That's ridiculous. No, that's my pick. If I say what I say,
This is crazy.
It is crazy. It's a lot of back and
Blasphemous
forth.
it's bullshit.
Go to the proper picks.
we're gonna have to cut this part because it's probably gonna take a while for me to do some research.
Dan, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Yes. The proper 12.
Oh, I also was drinking whiskey.
You guys all say
Best
two.
whiskey in the world. Everyone's gonna take a shot. I'm gonna start, and then I want these guys to take a shot too. My proper 12 lock of the week. I'm taking Texas A&M.
I love that.
-2. Proper
I
12,
love that.
The best Irish whiskey in the world.
Earlier in the show, we had done the preview of the game, which is where I said -2.5.
And we all believed in your team too.
Whatever. I
No,
don't
trust me,
care.
it was. I
don't
mean,
care. This
Fine.
is
it's just we're just done.
But
now.
we're not competing for
ridiculous.
anything.
I don't know. If
I'm
we are.
gonna have an eagle eye on both Casey and Dave's picks for the rest of the year.
That's
You can
okay. You
promise-
know what?
I can promise
Hey,
you that.
So you know here.
I can promise you
Full
that.
audit.
I can
Full-
promise you that. What
full
was Dave's
audit.
pick last week?
I believe he had Ohio. Miami
You
of
had
Ohio.
Miami. Oh, that says Miami though.
Miami.
It says Miami.
But that
yeah.
says Miami.
They lost
Not on the
Middle
show,
Tennessee.
though.
But no, that says Miami. They
Doesn't say Miami
lost.
of
That's
Ohio.
not-
But that says Miami. It's not Miami of Ohio. That's Miami.
That's not the graphic, though.
Well, I'm just saying that's Miami.
That's not the
So
graphic.
I'd like to
though.
see what he said.
So you have an eagle eye on my pick, and you also said this earlier, so I'm going against what you
Going
said.
over
So
all the data.
it's okay. I'm going to take OU at -6.5. They're 6-1 against the spread versus TCU in the last 7 games. We talked for a million minutes about OU earlier. This is a bounce back spot. They lost. They're going to kill this team. So that's my pick. If you'd like to write that down to remember that,
No.
to audit it. What's your pick of the week then?
Michigan -11.
I like that, Dan.
Thank you. Iowa has played terrible.
You know what else I
offenses.
liked? Your pick last week when you
Yes.
picked A&M
Thank you.
-2.
-2, and I said it out of my mouth. Michigan has played Iowa has played absolute garbage offenses. Nevada, Iowa State, an FCS team, and Rutgers. Iowa cannot score. They cannot score. The only way they can score is getting the ball turned over. They scored 3 touchdowns against Rutgers. One of them was offensive, 2 defensive. Michigan doesn't turn the ball over. Michigan plays good defense. Iowa's in for a long, long day. Everyone's going to be like, oh, they saw Michigan kind of struggle with Maryland. Hey, this is too many points at home for Iowa. Iowa can't score. They cannot score.
Yep.
All right, Rico, what is your proper pick of the week?
It's going to be Ohio, Kent State over 68.5. Ohio gave up 52 last week to Fordham. Kent State's finally getting in a rhythm. Played a very tough non-conference schedule. They have one of the best offenses in the MAC. This is going to be an up and down battle, a lot of possessions, a lot of scoring. Over 68.5, Ohio, Kent State.
Brandon?
So this is going to be interesting because I don't know if he's going to like it or not, or if he agrees with it or not, but I love Wisconsin at home, -7 against Illinois. Illinois, other road game, they went to Indiana and lost. Illinois is a bad team. Wisconsin is one of those teams, when they get on the field with somebody better and faster and more skilled, they can get embarrassed. They did. Now they come home and they're better than this team.
I hope
They can
you're
embarrass this team. They're going to win this game like 24-0.
I hope you're right.
It
I'm
is.
very nervous, though, because a lot of injuries for the Badgers. It's not been good.
Illinois is going to try to out Wisconsin, and
Brett Bielema.
You're not going to be able to do it. I
you're
like
right.
Wisconsin to bounce back here. What we saw last week is not who they are. You know, they played a different animal last week, and this is an animal they can contain.
And they did, like the Wazoo game, if you look at that box score, they dominated that game. It was
And
just
Wazoo's a better team than Illinois,
Yes,
too.
correct.
So I like Wisconsin a lot. I think it's a great chance to buy low on a Wisconsin team that they should not be 7-point favorites over Illinois.
All right, I like it.
All right, Ev?
All right, my proper pick of the week, I'm taking Utah -10.5 at home against Oregon State. I think the line says a lot. Plus, I'm still a big believer in Utah. I think they are the best team in the Pac-12. I think they are going to be the team that eventually beats USC. I think they smash Oregon State here. Quarterback had a real rough start last week against USC. I think Utah just takes it to them in Utah.
I like it.
All right, those are the proper picks. Thank you to proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Let's go on to our communal top 10 presented by Hooters. We love Hooters. We have the Hooters girls on the road with us. And if you're watching this show and then you're not going to a game, you should go to Hooters. They have cold beer, a great football bundle this year, and of course all the TVs. It's a perfect place to watch football. Watch all the games at Hooters all season. Visit Hooters.com/football to learn more. Yes, Dan?
Rico, change your pick.
Oh, no.
Why?
Your pick counts for Dave's.
Oh, yeah, your pick does count for Dave.
I was wondering how
Pick
that.
the
yeah.
worst pick possible.
No.
Yes, Arkansas
yeah.
money
I'm a
line.
loyal soul.
Arkansas money line. Arkansas money line. You
Arkansas
were
to win the
saying
game.
Arkansas money line.
No.
Change your pick. Arkansas money line.
What threw me off was I thought
No,
it was
Arkansas
4-0
money
for the whole
line.
year.
I forgot to mention, by the way,
Arkansas
yours, it
Iowa.
is
Take
for
Iowa.
the whole
Take
year.
Iowa plus 11. Take Iowa plus 11.
Via pick
Take
'em.
Iowa plus 11.
I'm a loyal soldier. I'm trying to be here January 1st.
Rico, you're never coming back on this show. That's never happening again.
I may
will fly.
never be here
Will
in
Compton
general.
will be flying in every week now.
Dave will
Iowa
usually
plus
be
11.
on the
Bust
show.
the boy in.
I had it
Iowa
written
plus
down.
11.
I'm not giving him the worst
Take
pick.
Iowa plus 11.
I give him
Take
my
him
pick.
Illinois plus 7.
Do you want his pick? I know what his pick would have been.
What would his
And
pick have been?
It would have been Kentucky plus 7. That's what he gave out on Pick'em.
6.5. Put it on the board. I think when we talked about it at the beginning of the day, it was 7.
Yeah, they
But I
changed
think
it.
I think it's actually
It
back
is.
to 6.5.
It's 7,
So
right.
make sure you have it on the lower
right,
third.
fine.
Dave's
Give him
lock of the
Kentucky.
week is plus 6.5. Kentucky.
Give him Kentucky plus 6.5.
Okay, so that's the
'Cause
official pick.
Yeah, because I know that was his pick on Pick'em.
You could have
Okay.
picked anything there. You could have picked. Why didn't you,
You had
do that?
one moment.
Northwestern.
Loyal
money line
soldier.
against
One
Penn
moment
State.
where you had the strength. One moment where you had the upper hand.
No,
And he'll, guess, here's
that
the worst
moment
part.
he'll come
And
back
he
to
will
it.
fuck you.
He'll never remember that you did this for him.
When it's time to cut your throat, he's cutting your throat.
That's fine. I'd like to have
Stand
this
up
one
for
in the
yourself.
chamber.
I can't wait
Have
till
some-
January 2nd.
I'm not even writing a fucking letter of recommendation to Aeropostale after this.
All right.
Okay, so what's the official pick we're going with?
Kentucky +7.
6.5.
6.5.
Okay, Kentucky.
That's the number,
plus-
and Lauren, you better not fuck us. Put it on the bottom line.
She says she got it, so you
Okay.
are in the clear. Okay, so back to our communal top 10. Let's unveil what we decided this week. All right, so this is it. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Clemson, Tennessee, Penn State, Alabama, Kentucky, Oklahoma State. Anything stick out to you guys?
Yeah, if Bama's that low, it means somebody must have forgot to rank them.
Yeah.
I forgot to rank them.
Well,
Is that you, Rico?
No, it would be
me.
Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Dave didn't
you
rank
forgot to
Bama.
rank 'em?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think Tennessee, y'all ranking Tennessee so high is interesting.
I have them at 7.
I have him at.
You have them at 5.
Dave had him at 4.
I have him at
Yeah,
5.
and Dave has them at
4.
4.
I have them at 10.
Do we think Dave purposely forgot Alabama?
I don't know. That's weird. That's actually very weird.
So he hasn't. That's why Alabama is so low. Dave does not have Alabama there. But other than that,
So
anything else?
Dave has Florida State number 3 ahead of Ohio State.
Well, he also has Kansas at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave's.
Yeah, that's
He
KU, buddy.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if he. Oh, because he has Kentucky.
He
at
has
7.
UK
Never
above
mind.
it.
Yeah, so
He has
Dave-
I was trying to
Tennessee.
say he might have messed up.
Yeah, no, the
that's all.
context clues you didn't pick up on him.
Dave's top 10 is Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Tennessee,
didn't have
USC,
I saw
Clemson,
UK
Kentucky,
before I said that.
Well,
Kansas,
can we talk to Big Ev real
Ohio
quick?
State, Penn State.
So it was a win over Wisconsin that went ahead and put Ohio State number 1, Big Ev?
Oh, I mean, a very impressive win. I mean, you got Georgia struggle with Kent State. I mean, there was a week to do it. I mean,
All right.
also we're
so-
playing without our best player too.
Well, you still have CJ Stroud.
So
You have
Jason,
Ohio
pretty
State
good.
low, huh? 4?
Yeah,
I have them at 3.
Michigan beat him last year.
So other than Dave not having Alabama, pretty much we all agree. So we've already talked about this a little bit. We're going to be, the next time we are sitting at a desk together for college football, we will be at Rutgers.
Yes.
Live at
Yes.
Rutgers
Excited.
on a Friday night. So we will
Nothing
be.
better. That's what they say. College football
On a Friday night,
Scattered-
Piscataway.
birth-
On
Place.
the banks of
The birthplace
on
of
the
college
banks
football.
The
what's
old
river?
Raritan. The old
The
Raritan.
Raritan?
All right.
That's
so
such a polluted river.
Yeah, oh, it'd be awful.
so we
Friday
will be
nights
there.
in Jersey.
The show will be at 5:30. The kick is at 7. So
I am excited. I'm
Yeah.
legitimately excited.
So-
I might even go in for a quarter.
I think a lot of us are going into
Oh,
the game.
I'll probably leave as soon as I possibly
I am
can.
going to go.
okay.
I've said this. I'm going to go. I'm going to try to make it down there early so I can toss a football around and maybe drink a high noon with my friend TJ.
Oh, that's
Yeah?
nice.
And toss the old pigskin with
Just
TJ?
a little
You think
bit
that
of.
piece of shit loser Tim Hitchings will be there?
Oh, I hope not. He better not show his face.
Is he going to be there?
He's going to be there. Of course he'll
Yeah,
be
he's-
there. This is the biggest moment of their entire life.
Yeah.
As a family. As a
The
family.
Hitchings family
The
name.
Barstool College
entire-
Football Show coming to Rutgers is the biggest moment
This
for
is
them.
like
So
when
not just
JFK
TJ.
won the presidency for the Kennedys. This is Rutgers,
Okay.
Nebraska for the Hitching.
All right,
Take
so
like 8 pictures for the next. That'll be the Christmas card.
This
It's
is-
the biggest night in their life.
this is huge. So we, like I said, we'll be live at 5:30 Friday night, which is a new thing for us. So I mean, I'm excited.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights will be there, so make sure you guys come out and get your merch right now. You can either scan this QR code or go to store.barstoolsports.com and get all the college football gear. And yeah, we will see you on a Friday night next week. Anything else, fellas?
Nope. Great
how-
show.
Great show, Rico.
Great show. Thanks.
I'd say like a C+.
Okay.
Well, he
Yeah.
did the best he could.
I'm just telling
All right,
you.
and the full schedule is going to go up in case you guys don't know where we're coming for the rest of the season. There it is. So yeah, Rico, thanks for joining us. And
Thank you for having me.
Get ready, Baton Rouge.
Can't wait.
Barstool Sportsbook opening up in LaBerge. The day before, we'll be there.
All right, we'll see you guys on Friday next week.
I stood up early.
One thing to remember when you're gambling on the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure that you gamble responsibly. Know your odds, know your chances of losing.
Gamble responsibly. Nobody wants to end up in a trash can.
You can play with Penn National, which is a licensed and regulated operator. Big words. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.